There's a new email vulnerability out, and you need to update today. Hey, this is Tom with Tom's Tech Show, and today we're going to go over a new email vulnerability that came out. Many email servers on the internet. So this is the back end, right? Not what you deal with as the client. This is who you have as your email provider. So this is going to be for people who are running their own email servers, for people who have their own domain that they've set up with, their own email. Like I have Tom at Tom's Tech Show. So that runs through an email service, and I need to check with my hosting provider to make sure that they are updating that. Maybe email them. They should probably have a status page or an information page on their site as to whether they have updated this. So what is going on? So let's look at some things here. This is reported also by ARS Technica. Millions of machines affected by command execution flaw. So in the Exim email server. So this flaw allows a not so nice party to get in and connect and run a command at elevated privilege on your server or on your hosting provider's server. So also there's another article here on ZDNet that is saying that there's a ton of these servers out there. Probably says about 57% of all email servers out on the internet run this Exim email server. So they're saying it could be up to as many as 5 million servers out there, because we don't know. Those are just the ones that are directly connected to the internet, 500,000, but it could be as many as 5 million. So if you run anything, if you have something set up at home to run email and it's on a Linux box, then you need to go and see if you're running Exim. If you've gotten in to set this up and you know what process you installed and you installed Exim, then you need to definitely go and update it. I was watching another show called Security Now, and they were going over this, and I wanted to really cover it to make sure anybody that watches my channel, my videos, or anything else also was aware, because if this is, I do a lot of technology stuff, and that's kind of what I want to make sure people understand when they're out. I mean, I have fun stuff that I do too, but this is kind of important. So the vulnerability was patched by accident, basically, in version 4.92, February 10th. But at the time, they didn't know that they had fixed it. So if we look at the process here, what happens is someone sends you an email message to your server that's not valid. So it's going to say can't be delivered. So it's going to bounce it. It's going to send you back a bounce message that says nope, this is no good. So from the bad guy's server, they're going to ping that, send a byte over every 4 minutes. The timeout on Exim is 5 minutes. So if you're sending something every 4 minutes, it'll keep the connection alive. So after 7 days, the server is going to say, it's dead. We're not going to try and deliver this message anymore. But instead of dropping it, it freezes the message and runs a post process on it. In this post process, it puts it into this queue that runs every 30 minutes and loads frozen things from the spool and processes them. And in that, it can download and execute commands on your server. So this just actually went out, 6 or 7 days ago. So if you got attacked and hit right at the first day of it, we're now 7 days in, which means your server could be getting taken over in the next day or two. So it's very, very important that if you run your own email server, that if you have a business that runs Linux email servers and you think they might be Exim, you need to find out so that you can get it updated. Other companies may run things like Exchange or Office 365, which is Exchange in the cloud. That's not affected by this. It's just basically the Exim server. But you do need to update. The newest update, right, like I said, was the 4.92. So, and if there's any newer updates, I think they're probably going to be doing some more experimenting and, testing how this works and how this vulnerability gets into your system. They're going to continue to test it, so there may be more releases. So plan, some multiple, outage windows. Start communicating that. Get an outage window placed in for the next day or two. Get that in place, and then maybe put another one, a week or two out, so that your users know you're going to be possibly doing update and patching. If you don't need the outage window, then it's easy to let it go. But if it's an emergency and they release another patch and you don't have an outage window already in place, then it's going to be harder on your users. So plan for put out 3, one now, one in a week, and maybe one in a month, outage windows, so that as these releases come out and they continue to look at this and maybe further patch it, you'll have all those outage windows in place so that you're not going to be vulnerable if they do find something more extensive. So just be aware of it. Look for it. If you just check and make sure if you're running Exim, as potentially 5 million servers are out there, get it patched. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching this. This is kind of a emergency off the cuff thing because I saw this today and I felt it was important to get as many people, knowledge of this as possible, especially in the technology community. I make videos like this, which have to do with technology, make videos about movies and TV, and I make videos about photography. If you like any or all of those things, subscribe to my channel. You'll get all that stuff all the time in your feed. If you like this video and this helps you out, then give a thumbs up to me, and I will put links to these articles and to the Security Now show notes that you can go through them, kind of review them. It's towards the bottom at the end of the show in there, and you can review all the details for it for yourself. All right. Well, I'm Tom's Tech Show. Thanks for watching.